Good morning, people. This is Anshu Malik. I'm currently in my third year of computer engineering, and this is the final demonstration of the minor project titled Expense Tracker. The motivation behind it is that it gets really stressful to remember what all transactions you do on the daily basis, the payments and the bills. So, if I ask you that what all transactions you have done in the last week, or whom you have paid last month for the lunch, it is hard to remember, right? So, we have come up with a solution, this web application for keeping track of all your expenses, payments, bills, and credits, etc. uh, the technology, if I talk about, is that if we have used MERN stack for full stack web development and deployment of the web application, which under the runtime environment of Node.js, Express as the web server, and the data are hosted on the cloud using MongoDB. We have front end is simply the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let's dive into the web application. This is the code. The code will be hosted on my GitHub page. As you can see that database has started and the MongoDB is connected on the port number 1900. Let's move to the port localhost 1900. This is the layout page. Let's join. This is the login page. If you haven't logged in, you can just sign up. Uh, I have already signed up, so I will just give it a login, password, and this is it. So these are the previous transactions which have already done. Let's add some new expenses. Let's suppose you have to pay for the hostel bill. Okay, suppose you have to pay 5,000, and let's suppose the last date of payment is 16th of December. Description is mess and hostel bill. It is of course the debit because it will be debited from your account. Let's add it. So this is it. The hostel bill is added. So this way you can keep track of when to pay and what amount to pay and how much to whom you have to pay. And let's add a new expense. Let's suppose you have a friend, you have gone to a trip and he has to pay you 2000. Let's suppose the date of the trip is 3rd of December and he has to pay for trip. This is of course it will be credited to your account and it is eventually not the debit. So this is it and hence it is added to your account. This way you can keep track of what all transactions you have did in the past, present, future. So thank you. This is the first half. The other half will be explained by my group member. Thank you so much.
Second group member of minor project expense tracker. In first part of the video, Anshu has already created some of the expenses and I will continue further the project. I want to mention about some of the functionality we add to our project. We can in the search bar we can search the expenses by a particular date. For example, I want to search the expenses of 4th December. Here are the expenses of the 4th of December and the 5th of December. Like 3rd of December expenses, I have no expenses on that day. They are all the expenses we have made till so far. In this project, we can also delete expenses if I want to, and can add it. I will edit some of the expenses like 5,000 rupees. It is now 5,000. I will change this money to 1,300 for the dining mess. Lemon Hall. Okay. Like 4th of December. I can also delete the expenses. Okay, this is what I want to include for this project. Now, I will like to conclude what we do in our what we can do in our project. In our project, a user can sign in and can add their expenses, update their expenses, delete their expenses, and can search the expenses by a particular days, but by a particular date. Expense tracker makes her calculation easy, and it is a more organized way to divide our expenses into two categories, credit and debit. So it saves our time also. In the future, what we can do, we can allow the users to retrieve their passwords. uh, we will do that. And um, an important thing we can do, we can create a real-time bi-directional sharing of accounting cost hisab between user and client, so both the users can see what the other user has credit in their name. So it will be real time, and it will make the calculation easy and more reliable. So it is the real time, both the users are seeing the things what happened to their credit and debit in case of other. Okay. We can also made a payment gateway for online transactions. So user can make online transactions using our app. We will do this using the third-party APIs, the Stripe API, Payball API. References. We take help from YouTube tutorials and various Udemy courses. For the server side, we use Node.js, and for the database, we use MongoDB. Thank you and have a nice day.